Hello, and welcome to the Brothers and Sisters Like These podcast. I'm your host, Brother Emiliano. Today, our guest is Angela, who wears several hats, one of them being the Blue Ridge Honor Flight board member. Angela, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, our pleasure. Could you please give the viewers some historic background into the Blue Ridge Honor Flight?
Absolutely. In 2004, Earl Morris decided as a pilot to start flying World War II veterans into DC to see their memorial because they're aging and passing away. Well, in 2006, Jeff Miller locally in Hendersonville heard about this. So he's like, well, my dad's a World War II veteran. Let's see if we can get this on a bigger level. He started calling different airlines and everything, and the rest is history. We all know right now we've got 129 hubs all through the United States, and we've flown over 400,000 veterans, 3,000 of them coming from Henderson County and the surrounding areas in Western North Carolina.
Incredible. Great to hear. I know there was a lot of work, and Brother Jeff Miller, who's been a guest on the podcast, is definitely an OG member of this Blue Ridge Honor, and he was president, and he's now stepped back, rightfully so, for the next generation like yourself to pick it up, and I'm sure continue in his original mission and vision, which leads me to the question, what exactly is the mission and the vision of the Blue Ridge Honor Flight?
So the mission is to transport American veterans to their own memorials in DC from World War II, Korea, Vietnam at no cost to them, and have a guardian by their presence. We're also just started sending Gold Star family members to DC because they made the ultimate sacrifice. And we're so proud to have started doing that recently. This past, we did a third flight.
In fact, Sister Ann, who was on with Brother Jeff, was also a guest, and she's a Gold Star mother. And Matthew was killed in Iraq when I was in Iraq. We were both in at the same time. Okay, so please thank you. Please tell us how you personally got involved with the Blue Ridge Honor Flight, Angela.
Well, I came back to Hendersonville. I'm born and raised native of Henderson County. Believe it or not, very few of us can say that. Yeah. And after getting out of the Marine Corps and coming back to the area, I was like, well, what in the world? What can I give back to my community that does not take a lot of extra time and money, because it wasn't something that I have. So I decided to take my time and talent after hearing Jeff Miller talk. I raised money because at the time it was $500. Now it's $600 for a guardian. I raised money and I got my money up to be a guardian. I went as a guardian twice. My first time I had a World War II Marine, which, by the way, Joanne tries to set you up with the same service member of the same service when you go to be a guardian, unless they have a family member as a guardian. So I went and I was sold. I had a blast. I went a second time. And to be honest, I got tired of that bright yellow shirt. It does not look good on me. So I asked about leadership, and Joanne hooked me up, and I've been on 6 flights now.
Wow.
And all of a sudden, Steve decided to step down from Welcome Home. And since I had seen every single background, they asked me to step in and do Welcome Home. So that's how I ended up being Welcome Home chair. And I would go back on a flight in a heartbeat. I love it. But I also know how important, especially to the Vietnam veterans, the Welcome Home is that I do.
That's right. Okay. So we always like to know a little bit about the origin story of our guests. So would you mind spending a minute to talk about your story, youth, military, adult life? Just let us know who's Angela.
So like I stated before, I grew up in Henderson County. I spent a year in college after graduation from Edneyville. Very few people are going to know about Edneyville. It's now called the Justice Academy. It's right off 64 on your way to Chimney Rock. So very few people are going to know what that is. I went to college for a year and my grades did not do very well. And my mom said that she wasn't paying for me to party, which I wasn't. I just didn't know at the time I had a learning disability. So I walked into the offices of the recruiting offices, which is now about where South Rock is here in Hendersonville. They were all in the same area. And my ASVAB score did not reflect Air Force. So, hence, I guess, the crayon eating. I'm not sure. But anyway, my ASVAB score did not reflect much of the other branches of services. And I went into the Marine Corps office and I saw 2 females on the wall, on the graduation wall. And there was walls everywhere. And I was like, why is there only 2 females? I don't understand. And the recruiter proceeded to tell me that it was the hardest branch of service. And I was like, sign me up. I was a jock. I was a tomboy. I grew up with all boy cousins. I was the only girl. So I thought, what the heck? That sounds like something I can handle. Let's bring it on. I got in, did boot camp. We were not Crucible. It was not far after me, though. We did throw live hand grenades, which a lot of females did not do. Long story short with that, got out, went to my MOS school, and here comes Desert Shield, Desert Storm. I was one of those that was really, really scared. My gas mask wouldn't seal, and that was the biggest threat, is being gassed. And then got over that, found out I had the wrong mask on, and came back, Camp Lejeune. I only spent my 4 years in for active and then got out and did reserve time. Came back here and just wanted to figure out how to get back involved with my community and be a person again, as far as, or at least attempting to be the person I can be and follow, some kind of guidelines and have a connection somewhere. And when I heard about this and had friends and family that would throw money my way, I just thought Blue Ridge Honor Flight was one of the ways to go to get reconnected.
Okay, great. Thank you for that, Angela. Now, describe, as a veteran, why would I want to participate on this flight? I understand it's to honor, our service, but what are some of the other opportunities and other benefits about participating in a Blue Ridge Honor Flight as a veteran? Not as a guardian, but as an actual veteran.
Oh, okay.
Why do we want to honor? And what else do I get out of it, just out of a flight and looking at, some memorials?
Well, what we have found is it's very healing, especially to the Vietnam veterans. Not only do they have camaraderie from the time they start orientation, a lot of them meet, like we just had orientation last week, a lot of them meet with each other, and even sometimes find out they're in the same units. So, and of course, the World War II veterans are aging. So we're trying our darndest to get the World War II and Korean veterans out there as best we can. And just the fact that they've seen their memorials, which they've never had an opportunity to. So I always try to encourage, especially when I run into a Vietnam veteran, I try to encourage them to take the flight because of the fact that we've seen the healing process. We've had them come back and tell us it's one of the greatest things they've ever done. They appreciate it. They had closure, for one, seeing their buddy's name on the wall, whatever the case may be. It just brought a lot of closure, camaraderie, making connections again. We have surprises along the way that I will not necessarily disclose, but it's great. And when they come home, they truly are welcomed and not like back in the past. What we've also noticed, though, as far as going as a guardian, those from Afghanistan and Iraq have a lot in common with the Vietnam veterans. They were never welcomed home. They never had a parade. They didn't get spit on, and they didn't get called baby killers and such, but they have a bond and a connection similar because of the fact that they had to come back and just start life like nothing happened. So we find that it's very, very healing process. I was surprised myself to find out that that's part of it.
And that's a good point, because also as a guardian, it's incredibly healing. I remember on the last flight, we had maybe 6 brothers and sisters or other people from our group that were on as guardians. And it's very emotional for both parties involved. And it's a real joy for a veteran to give back to another veteran who's usually older. And it is quite an experience. So we see when we go attend these welcome home events that it's just kind of, they get off the plane and we're all cheering. But if you've been in the military, you know how much planning goes into any type of event. So, describe a little bit of the planning, the logistics, the funding. What does it take behind the scenes to make this day work for the veterans?
So it all starts out with getting the dates, because we have to coordinate with Washington, D.C., and you can imagine that nightmare, because it is a logistical nightmare. We start out getting our dates for the year, and we actually have April 18th for the spring already in place. We have to start with making sure that we have a charter plane available. We do charter a whole entire plane, so no one's on it. It's not Blue Ridge Honor Flight. We charter 4 buses in DC. We have to reserve our area when it comes to in the front of the memorials to do our service, lay our wreaths and everything. And even before that, we're starting to get names. We're making sure they medically qualify. I call the family members, make sure that they have, they say what they're saying and don't get confused. And we have to have enough wheelchairs. So, because it's a long day, people get tired. We have a medical personnel on each bus. We have at least 4 medical people. Usually we have a team of 10 or more. We have to do that. On my end, as far as welcome home, I have to do porta-johns, chairs, rent the actual hangar, get a crew together to set all that up. We do that. As soon as the flight goes out, we move into get ready for them to come home mode and set all that up. It is a pretty much logistical nightmare. I'm glad I've got this end of it versus the rest.
I can see that. Yep. This is a lot easier to control and manage on this side of the Mississippi, so to speak.
Absolutely.
All right. So your next date for the flight is September 27th, which according to your website, which has an excellent timeline, it's 10 days, 15 hours, and 47 minutes as of the 16th.
It's like a countdown, like when you're, on deployment. We're counting it down.
Yep. And so who is eligible to either go as a member or as a guardian?
Okay, so if you're going on the flight as a veteran of the Vietnam era or before, then the way you're qualified is, you got to go onto the website and fill out, and there's also an app. So you got to go on the website or the app and fill out your application. The medical team looks at your application, and then they say yay or nay. If you have a guardian in mind, a family member, then you put that guardian on your application. Otherwise, you'll be synced up normally with a guardian of the same branch of service. Joanne does a really good job with that. You're synced up with someone. The guardian, however, does pay the fee to go. So that's why I highly suggest for folks like me who don't have an extra $600 in their back pocket, just fundraise. People are they think it's a great thing. Some people will give you $5. Some people will give you $25. I had a guy give me $100. It's just the way you approach it and the way you ask and you tell them what the benefits are. And, you just want to go. So, that's okay. And I just really want to go. But with that said, the same process, you go on, you fill out your application to be a guardian, and it's pretty simple. It wasn't so simple when I was doing it because you had to make sure it was mailed in and everything else, but now it seems pretty simple.
Now you can do it electronically through the website or app, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you also mentioned that now Gold Star mothers, but also family members, spouses.
Correct.
And stuff like
that. If you're a Gold Star, you can be a Gold Star mom, sister, brother. So here again, it's the same application process, which is it's one that I'm glad that we're making progress in the way we do things. And I know sometimes when your computer's down, electronics aren't always the thing, but we got to start somewhere. So trying to streamline it a little bit.
Yep, absolutely. All right. So after this September event that we have coming up, what else is on your horizon? You'd mentioned in April, next flight?
April the 18th. 2026 will be the spring flight.
Okay, excellent. And people who want to help or participate or donate, how can they do that?
Well, I know that we have the information on our website. And if anyone wants to be involved with Welcome Home, whether you're a school group, Kiwanettes, Girl Scouts, this time I actually have a bunch of Girl Scouts that's going to be handing out water. They're bringing their wagon. They're going to hand out flags and water. We got ROTC groups. Hopefully, if we stay in the hangar, then I'm going to start having ROTC groups perform and do cadence and their drills and stuff if they would like. And we have just the general public comes in. Right now, we've got free parking at the WNC Ag Center down at Gate 7 at the very end. The fair is over, so you can go down there and park, and we've got free shuttles going back and forth to the hangar. If you want to get involved prior to that, feel free to give me a call. I'll give everybody my information at the end. Or if you've got it, you can put it on the screen, Brother E. It's up to you. And I'll be happy to add to my committee or just add as someone to call and go to. We have WNC Source as one of our bus systems, and thankfully Henderson County has 5 bus drivers that donate their time and talent and come with the big buses, and we have 3 handicap buses also.
Okay, so what you guys do is, regardless if you're military, a veteran, if you're civilian, you can participate, you can donate, you can help in a variety of manners. So the point is,
well, some people it's big pockets. Other people like myself, it's their time and talent. So we'll take your money or we'll take your time, whichever works better for you.
Fair enough. Okay, so you mentioned a few ways. What are some other ways that they can get in touch with Blue Ridge Honor Flight? We mentioned the website. Are there any other ways that we can reach out to you guys? Are you guys on Facebook?
Yes,
Okay.
actually we are. Thank you for reminding me.
No problem. No problem.
We are on Facebook. And Facebook actually is the best on, like, once the timer counts down, it's one of the things that keeps up the best with what's going on. Sometimes I even post live from Washington, D.C. on Facebook while everybody's there.
I remember at the last Welcome Home, we got the update from Facebook Live that there was like an hour delay or something.
Yes.
Something. So, and that's how we all knew.
Meanwhile, I'm running around with like a chicken with my head cut off, just keeping all the boxes checked. So I don't look at it. I rely on somebody else to tell me.
Yeah, exactly. You have too much.
Or a text coming from Joanne or somebody else on the flight.
Yeah. Well, so let's take, we're starting to wind this down here, but let's take a second to talk about what magical kind of experience it is, whether, and I'm talking about just as a visitor, whether I'm a veteran or not, but just being in that hangar, soon as you go through that door, it's just nonstop emotional, just and joyous occasion. Talk about some of the electrifying atmosphere that people can expect if they come to pay homage to our veterans.
So as you come in the door, if you have a veteran on the flight, you're treated like a VIP. We have a section for those family members who have their said Vietnam, Korea, World War II veteran, Gold Star families. We have a section that we sit them so they can be the first ones to see them as they come off. We let the general public, you can come in, you can make posters. We're actually going to have a swag table this time. You can purchase stuff like this if you want to help support and make a purchase. And we have Tom Brown there for entertainment. He sings, he plays music. He's our entertainment. People bring their own chairs and just, it's like one big, for lack of better words, one big family.
No, I totally agree. And a lot of times, depending on the season, but the sun might be setting, then the plane comes and they get escorted by the police, and then the fire trucks shower it. It's just really amazing.
You're welcome to come hang out.
I'll be there. I'll definitely be there. Okay, so let's give the viewers a call to action. What is something that you really want to hit home with them?
Well, we have 500 chairs at Welcome Home. I want every single one of those chairs filled. If we have to put the kids on the concrete and have a seat, that's what we'll do, because they're kids, they're resilient, they can handle it. We also do have wheelchairs if needed. And I just want this place full. I want everybody parking at Gate 7 at the Ag Center, taking that free parking. Please take the free parking. The buses will bring you to the hangar on time. Be there at 6:30. The buses will start. It is a long night. You're welcome to bring snacks. We have water, but you're welcome to bring snacks and just hang out, have a good time, feel that camaraderie and that energy.
That's right. Well, Angela, our time has come to an end. Thank you very much for being a guest.
Thank you.
We look very forward to this fast approaching date. And as always, to you, our last word.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.